you probably going to lose two guys you didn't expect. When you're a pro, you get, 7 draft picks, right? That's high school players. Free agency, which is the portal.
Like, we've been about this, and we're just going to take more advantage of it. Colorado's getting ready for the Alamo Bowl, but more importantly, some big things are happening in this week of the transfer portal. It closes this Sunday, right at the apex of when the college football bowl season is really going to get underway. So today we're going to listen to, like we always do, Deion Sanders' press conference, see how he feels about people like Jeremiah Brown entering the transfer portal and coming out of the transfer portal since the last time he had a conference. We want to focus mainly on the transfer portals. He alludes to some of the things that we've been talking about, right? Some of the issues, expecting people hopping in the portal. Appreciate y'all for watching these videos. It's been phenomenal. It's been great. Thank you for supporting me. I hope you have a phenomenal holidays. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content. Let's get right into it.
James Franklin of Penn State.
Okay.
And just the difficulties of navigating a game and the transfer portal. How do you, with players entering it and all that, how do you plan for a game and the transfer portal?
Oh, you mean this like a bowl game?
Yeah.
Transfer portal shouldn't be no surprise to you. You know you probably going to lose two guys you didn't expect, and you probably going to gain several guys you didn't expect. But you got to have a board, and you got to do your studies. You got to understand this is what's going to happen, and I'm prepared for that. I know this is going to happen. So I don't think the portal has ever been a surprise to us. Not at all. Even the bowl game. It's not a surprise. Like any of our guys that wanted to get in the portal, get in the portal. You're not going to come here and practice and eat and be merry and have a Merry Christmas with us and leave right after the game. I call that using somebody. You're not going to use us. No, I'm going to help you by all means. And I've helped several players get to other schools already along with the staff. But you're not going to participate with us and do all that, then leave. That's not fair to some of the other teammates that want to play and deserve to play. That's not fair to them. So I don't think it's difficult to navigate around the portal. I just think the portal is surprising some of these coaches that didn't understand what it was. I understood what it was day one, don't you think? From the way we attacked it, from the way, I know we got a lot of criticism for it, but we did this in Jackson. Not only that, I did this in youth. Like when I was coaching youth football, we started with nothing, and it had to be something. We had to go get everybody at the portal, from 5-year-old kids to 12-year-old kids, that mean from other teams. They had to come to our organization. In the first trial, we had 1,500 kids at the first trial. And we selected them, talked to them, made sure they fit our structure. And we have several guys on the staff that was there during that time. So we've been doing this for a long time. It just didn't start at the collegiate level. This starts in high school. We was at a private school. Where you get private school kids from? Public schools. What is that? The portal. When you're a pro, you get, 7 draft picks, right? That's high school players. Then you go hit what? Free agency, which is the portal. That's the way we approached it from day one. But I was willing to look like a fool for a period of time, and I listened to y'all, I watched you. And we understood it, but, Noah looked like a fool too when he kept saying it's going to rain, right? When he was building the ark, until that rain came. Yeah, the rain coming now. The rain is coming now for everybody, right? Yeah, we good. We're in the ark now.
Thank you. Before the next question, very brief, I just want to say Deion Sanders has been saying this for a long time. And funny enough, Bill Belichick has been saying the exact same thing. He looks at like an NFL structure. He thinks it's normal. Deion Sanders is approaching it not even at an NFL level, but hey, this is something that happens in high school. This is something that we did in Jackson State. Like, we've been about this, and we're just going to take more advantage of it.
Coach Brian Howell.
How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I have a couple for you real quick, but is there a challenge in kind of getting back into the groove of football after a couple of weeks where maybe it's been off for a lot of guys and
no,
award ceremonies, all those
it's
things?
really not. That depends on what type of team that you have. We have a multitude of young men that has desires to go pro. It can't be a challenge because this is last call for them. We have a bunch of young men that wants to establish themselves and beat out some of these guys that they know that we're attaining in the portal. And they want to put their footprint down going into the spring that, hey, man, this is my job. I should at least start first team. So it's very important, and we keep it important. So it's not just a bowl game where we're going to go be merry and have a Merry Christmas and exchange gifts and do all that. No, we want to go there and play Buff football. And we got some guys that want to end on a great note. You think Travis want to go out there and get locked down with a Heisman at his house? You think Shador want to go out there and play like hot garbage when he's one of the premier guys and probably arguably the first pick of the whole draft? You think Jimmy Horn hadn't played in a couple weeks game-wise, don't want to go out there and put on? I mean, we got some wonderful young men with Chidozie. We got a lot of guys that want to ball out, and I can't wait to see them. I think we even had a fight at practice today. I don't recommend that, but I was proud of that.
So, as a follow-up to that, you mentioned Jimmy. I wanted to ask you, this break, how good was it for guys like Jimmy and Isaiah Augustive and guys like that want to get back? Do you feel like those guys?
They're going to talk more about injuries, but just so we can cut right directly to the chase, here he is talking specifically. My man Scott Proctor asked the direct question about Jeremiah Brown and him entering the portal and coming back. It is going to look like a potato, but
Good, sir. Thank you. You really don't care. You just wanted to ask because he asked how I was feeling. You really don't care. When you looked at me, you didn't really look like you cared how I felt. It was just part of your conversation.
That sounds like an assumption, Coach. I always ask how you feeling.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I wanted to ask about something that you just alluded to in Jeremiah Brown. He withdrew from the portal. He's obviously going to be back to Colorado. I know you guys go way back. How excited are you for him to be back in the fold for the bowl game?
Jeremiah's like my kid, man. He's like my kid, We played against him in high school. His head coach is one of my best friends, like a son to me, Corey Fuller. And Jeremiah took a chance on us, took a chance on me. And he came to Jackson, and he's always been a hard worker, always did his job, and always been just a good dude, a fisherman. We have an affection for that, which we share tremendously. And I was in Texas, relaxing, praying, and trying, because I got to make some heavy decisions on kids and life and all of that. And when I saw that happen, I'm like, why didn't Jeremiah call me? He called me about everything else. He calls me every time he catches a decent-sized fish, he want to call me. And he didn't call me for that. So I knew he was being influenced by something else. So when I got back, he came to the office, and I was like, you changed. Ever since you got them pretty new teeth in your mouth, you changed. You're not the same kid. And that broke the ice, and he's all like, Coach, I didn't want to go. I said, well, what we doing? What we doing? I love you, boy. I love you too, Coach. And he started crying and boo-hooing, and we got it right.
Man, that's beautiful, man. Like that is
Coach Scott Proctor.
Just like he kind of talks about. Like, before we get deeper into the craziness of the transfer portal, kind of like I alluded to my other video, just talking about the generalities of it, right? These kids are taking an opportunity. I think we start getting lost in the NIL money, but remember, I am a transfer portal NIL advocate before anything else, right? I think it can be done better. I think we can pay these kids in a better way. But the connection that Coach Prime and a lot of these coaches are, like, let's not just stop at just glazing Coach Prime. I know y'all get mad at me for that, but Matt Rule is known to be that type of guy. Dan Lanning is a guy who I know I give Oregon fans a hard time, but he's legitimately a phenomenal coach that a lot of people get inspired by, right? You think about all these different personalities that, Nick Saban, that one's too obvious to talk about, but the accounts, the stories, the connection that they have with this coach, I think is the reason why I think transfer portal is so important, because that mix, that connection, finding someone that you can take a risk on, with your collegiate career or some of your collegiate years is important, and vice versa. Being able to leave a scenario where things happen like that, I think is important too. So just great him highlighting it. I think a really good moment just in general in sports and what kind of you can develop and build. Obviously, Jeremiah Brown is no slouch, right? He was a standout linebacker for the Buffaloes coming into the first part of the season. Again, leading, I believe, in tackles and forced fumbles and a few different statistical categories at the time. Entered the transfer portal and then withdrew within like the next 3 days. Reminder, the transfer portal does not close until this Sunday. So just a lot of craziness, right? But then on top of that, you have N'Keal Hill-Green, and I alluded to this, in my last video about them securing Jaheim Otis, right? And securing one of the best defensive line prospects in the portal. But Losing here was had a lot of people confused, right? Losing this Nikhil Hill-Green. Jake Schwartz is a big guy there for what's it called? Not NFL, for Colorado. We got our guy. Oh yeah, Brian Howell and Matt Zenitz. These are some of the guys that I follow just for Colorado coverage, and they were certainly didn't expect this one. Hill-Green was awesome for the Buffs. Again, he was like the defensive motor, right? The leader there. And I only bring this up to bring up the fact that it's a small version of some of these crazy situations, right? Arkansas running back, and we've talked about this briefly, but just to kind of refresh you, this is the Arkansas running back that re-entered the transfer portal. He was originally entered to the portal on last Tuesday. They removed his name from the portal, so he put his name in the portal, removed from the portal like Jeremiah Brown, and now he's back in the portal. And of course, this guy's giving us a full little rundown of him. He's a freshman. He's a freshman, by the way. Committed to Arkansas, decommitted, committed to Tennessee, decommitted, committed to Arkansas, inner portal, exit portal, inner portal again. And then I think the biggest, big, bad, glaring one is Mr. Bo Prabula. Again, nothing wrong with Bo, nothing wrong with this. And a lot of y'all kind of argued with me about, hey, the transfer portal, can we at least get through bowl season? Can we at least get through playoffs, right? But y'all made a fair point about academics, but something's got to give, right? Like, either we got to figure out the academics, we got to do some online classes, or we only have a transfer portal in the spring, because stuff like Bo Prabula, right? If you're a Penn State head coach, and because James Franklin was alluding to this, right? I think this is the situation that James Franklin was talking about, that Deion Sanders was kind of responding to with that interviewee. This is tough. Like, I know a lot of people, again, in my comments were like, oh, well, he's a backup, he's a whatever. Dog, it's the playoffs. They have to win 4 or 5 more games to win a national championship. Anything can happen, and it's not about not having him. It's like, well, was he a holder? Did he do any? I'm about to say long snap, but he can't do long snap. But was he a holder? I think that's it. Does he help run the twos? Does he do good scout team work? I mean, like, that's really important stuff, and things that can aid and help a team overall. So I think it's really interesting to see. But just to close out, let's go over some of the top guys still left in the portal, right? We have people like Eric Singleton, who is right now, this is a completely different video, but right now is demanding a lot of crazy things. Oh, shout out, this just bopped up for me. Shout out Makari Vickers from Oklahoma. He's got a visit with Colorado. A lot of people got a visit with Colorado. My man Croman Hawk, who I think this kid can spin it. He's going to Mississippi State, so interesting. Maybe he's a Mississippi guy. That would be cool. We got people telling people that they're not. This is crazy. How you gonna tell somebody they're in the portal and he comes back and says he's not? It's just craziness in the portal, dog. I just don't know how else to say it, but it's just a bunch of craziness, dog. What else we got? What else? Oh, here we go. So Georgia Tech wide receiver Eric Singleton Jr. is expected to command over $1 million in the transfer portal. Wow. And then you have the Texas Tech quarterback who had like a list of demands. If I can find it, I'll end it there and we can wrap this up. And of course, just a refresh in the positive way. Hey, Colorado's went ahead and secured number 1 at the time defensive line ranking gentleman there. But there was a list of demands, and if I can't find it, we'll get up out of here. But yeah, it's starting to become ever apparent that these, it's the NFL. These are people with what do you call them? What do they call them? Agents, right? And these agents draw up ideas and numbers and not schemes, because that sounds almost nefarious, right? What's it called? They set up all these schemes and stuff, and my head's kind of blocking it, so I might just go, They set up all these schemes and crazy, not schemes, I keep saying schemes, but they set up things and thresholds that they want to do. They look at these young men as commodities, and then you get things like this, which is the supposed list for Mr. Micah Hudson, the Texas Tech quarterback, a wide receiver, who visited with visited with Colorado, and then ended up committing to Texas A&M. Gross, but shout out to you, he's an explosive guy. $700K minimum wire up front for 1-year deal to sign immediately. Separate NIL deal for 3 cars for family members to sign immediately. Personal driver with Cadillac for SUV. We're gonna get deeper into this. We'll get deeper into this, but because NIL and transfer portal, it goes together, because people transfer because of money and this. But we're gonna get deeper into the situation. Separate video of it, but it, like Deion says, like to push back a little bit. How can you be prepared for this? This is craziness. Ole Miss transfer portal merchants. You know how Lane Kiffin gets down. LSU number 2. Texas A&M top 5. Texas Tech still number 3, and Auburn not too bad, number 6 there. Again, I had that last video. Y'all were clowning me saying I wasn't on 2025. Dog, I'm on 2025. This is where it is, and Colorado is still chilling at 29, still doing decent. I think they're top 5 in the Big 12. They are not. They are number 10. So they're top 10 in the Big 12 when it comes to the Big 12 football team transfer rankings. Again, this is 24/7. It could be different rankings in different places and different spaces, man. But that's about it. We'll get a few more nuggets and a few good more morsels out of this Deion Sanders interview here because it's some good stuff. But y'all be phenomenal. Y'all be great. Y'all leave a like on this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Comment down below how you feel about the transfer portal. How you feel Deion Sanders has handled it. Obviously 2 years into the Colorado regime. But other than that, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all be phenomenal. Y'all be great. We'll see you next time.